Should you get the iPhone SE2 here in 2025? So the iPhone SE2 came out back in 2022, which was almost 3 years ago. And in this video, I'll be explaining to you whether or not you should still get this device here almost 3 years later. So we're going to start off with the design of this device, and then we'll talk about the specs and whether or not it's still worth buying. So first off, the iPhone SE2 is actually a very small phone. It's about the same size as the iPhone 6. And the screen size is especially small. It's only 4.7 inches diagonally. And for comparison, modern smartphones like the iPhone 16 Pro has about a 6.3 inch display from one corner to the other. And on the back, one feature that I like is that the camera doesn't really get in the way. So on modern smartphones, the cameras are a lot larger, so it does get annoying to hold the smartphone. But the iPhone SE3 with its simpler design and smaller size makes it a lot easier to hold. So moving on to the specs of this device, let's now talk about the battery life of this device. So the iPhone SE3 has about a 2000 mAh battery, and this is not too bad, but it's not all that good either. For me, it doesn't last that long. And for comparison, the latest iPhone 16 Pro has a 3500 mAh battery. So if you don't use your phone a lot, then this won't really be an issue to you. But if you do use it a lot, then you could get a separate battery case, or you could just get a different iPhone like the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, moving on to the storage, the iPhone SE3 doesn't have a whole lot of storage. So this device comes with 64, 128, or 256 gigabytes of storage. It all just depends on which model you get. And that's all there is for the storage of this iPhone. Let's now move on to the speeds. So the iPhone SE3 is actually a really fast device. It's about as fast as the iPhone 13. So it comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM and also the Apple A15 chip. And for comparison, the latest iPhone 16 Pro has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it also has the latest Apple A18 Pro chip. So overall, this device is really fast and the speeds won't really be an issue. Now moving on to the display, this device does have a decent display. It's not all that good. So the screen resolution is only 1334 by 750. And this doesn't sound all that good, but because this screen is so small, it won't really matter. You can't really see the pixels if you look up close. And also some of the other important features is that it has the True Tone display, and it also has haptic touch, and the maximum brightness goes up to 625 nits. So that's all there is for the display of the iPhone SE3. Let's now talk about the camera quality. So the camera on the iPhone SE3 isn't all that good, but it's not that bad either. So the rear camera can take up to 12 megapixel photos, and it could also take 4K 60 videos. So the rear camera is decent, but the front camera can only take 7 megapixel photos and also 1080p video at 30 frames per second. Now that we've covered the specs of the iPhone SE3, let's now talk about whether or not it's still worth buying. So for most of you, I would say it might be worth buying, but I would also consider some of the other options like the iPhone 12 mini, which is only going to cost you about 20 bucks more. It does have a lot more newer design, and the camera is a lot better. And also there's the iPhone SE2, and here it is. And it does share a lot of the same features as the iPhone SE3, except the speeds are a bit slower, and it's just not going to last you as long. But the price is only about half the amount as it is on the iPhone SE3, so you could get this phone for about 80 bucks, while the iPhone SE3 would cost you about 160. Now, if you care a lot about the battery life, I could also recommend getting the iPhone 8 Plus, which does have a lot larger battery, and it does have a second camera. And I will have iPhone reviews for all these devices down in the description, so if you're interested in them, make sure to check them out. And that's really all there is for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my channel to see more videos like this in the future. And if you have any video suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments below.